WOCA. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's hard to believe 50 years has passed, but I remember when JFK was shot. I remember being in elementary school. I was an elementary school student, and I remember my teacher crying, and says students were, oh man, what happened? What happened? And then somebody said the President Kennedy had been shot. And I think if I remember right, the school let out early. I remember going home. My mom was ironing. There was a black and white TV in the living room, and it was on, and she was ironing and staring at this news that the whole world was talking about, that President Kennedy had been shot. And the events that followed that, the Lee Harvey Oswald capture, and then the Jack Ruby shooting him episode. And it was like one of those whirlwind things for a child anyway, because I was a child. It's like, wow, all this stuff happens, right? Then years later, as an adult, you start seeing movies, and you start reading accounts, and you start being given information that makes you question whatever it was that was concluded on, that there was one gunman, and you start. In fact, just the other day, I was in line. It was the National Enquirer, and it said positive proof there was a second gunman. Right. So it's one of those ongoing stories that I guess I don't know how long it takes for it to die down. I don't know if this happened with Lincoln or not, but we're already 50 years into it. The book that we're going to focus on right now is Case Closed. It's written by Gerald Posner. He's an attorney, an investigative journalist, and a New York Times best-selling author. And the digital release of the book is commemorating the 50th anniversary of the assassination of JFK. And let's say good morning to Gerald Posner. Good morning, Gerald.
Great. Good morning, Larry. Good to be with you and Robin. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Where are you?
I'm in Miami, as a matter of fact, here with all the anti-Castro Cubans who were made part of the conspiracy to kill Kennedy in many of the books on the Kennedy assassination.
Right.
And what you said a moment ago is so interesting because, I was also in a supermarket. I was checking out of a Publix the other day. I saw the cover of the National Enquirer. I thought, why couldn't they have come up with that information, named the second shooter years ago? Could have saved me from doing my book. I didn't have to do Case Closed if they could have disclosed that. It would be the equivalent of us in 61, 50 years after 9/11 or that, walking out of a supermarket and seeing a tabloid with a cover that said, the confession from the man who really put the explosives in the towers on 9/11. It's as though the conspiracy theories about 9/11 would continue to grow over the coming decades, so that people forgot that it was 19 hijackers, for their own warped motivation that flew the planes in. And over time, it became what I call almost a board game of, who blew up the towers. Well, that's what's happened with Kennedy. It's a board game of who killed Kennedy, and we've sort of become accustomed to it in some ways.
And what evidence do we have of Kennedy? I mean, with the Twin Towers, there was so much evidence, I guess, that was physical evidence. But with Kennedy, there's one man. Was it one wound or two wounds? I'm never really sure about that.
2 wounds, only one of which was fatal. And, here, the problem is this. There are a few problems, I think, with Kennedy that makes it difficult. First of all, the further you get away from the event, the harder it is to know what the real evidence is, because things get repeated so many times that they become part of the record, even though they're false. So, for instance, many people have heard that dozens of witnesses who saw something critical in the assassination later died mysterious deaths. I have an entire appendix on that called the non-mystery mystery deaths. Examine all 103 so-called mystery deaths. There isn't a single mystery death in the Kennedy assassination, but people believe that. They think that the so-called magic bullet, they saw it in Oliver Stone's JFK, the bullet did somersaults and made a left turn and a right turn, so that couldn't have been the bullet fired. They've heard that no sniper in the world could have fired the shots as fast as Oswald fired them and hit the president. So there are certain things repeated so many times that it would be the equivalent in 9/11 of somebody saying 100 times, steel could never have burned that fast from just jet fuel. And later, 20 years from now, people who weren't alive in 9/11 accept that as a fact and therefore think the planes couldn't have hit the towers and brought them down. That's what happened in the Kennedy assassination.
The book originally came out on the 30th anniversary, right?
That's right. And it was not intended, by the way, to be a book that said Oswald did it. That's not what Random House, who was the original publisher, signed up. I actually went to them and wanted to do a book. I didn't have an answer for the assassination. I leaned to the idea. You were alive. You were in grammar school when the assassination took place.
Right.
I was in grammar school. I was in fourth grade at the time. We all grew up with a feeling for what happened on the case, even if we didn't know it. My leaning was toward the mob, and that was because of Jack Ruby's murder of Oswald 2 days later.
Right.
Ruby himself, a nightclub owner with some ties to the mob. I thought, gee, it looked like a silencing to me. But what I wanted to do was a book that examined all of the evidence. I knew the FBI couldn't have done it if the CIA did it. The CIA couldn't have done it if the KGB did it. The KGB couldn't have done it if the Cubans did it or the anti-Castro Cubans did it. So it was only halfway through that book that I came to realize that the evidence, the only credible evidence, supported the simple answer that, believe it or not, although there may have been conspiracies brewing to kill Jack Kennedy, that Oswald beat all the conspirators there for his own warped motivation. And that's what turned into be a case closed. And here, 20 years later, I'm putting out the digital book with Open Road, and that book is unchanged. What I mean by that is I haven't had to go back in the last 20 years with any development of the millions of pages of documents that have been released by the governments. The Soviets have released their files on Oswald. The Cubans have released their file on Oswald. New forensics and ballistics tests. I haven't had to change anything from the conclusions I reached 20 years ago, because there isn't anything to change that conclusion that one man with one gun unfortunately changed the course of history for us back then.
Wow.
And that was one of the points also, is that, a lot of people thought that Oswald was a KGB agent and he was trained by the Russians and they sent him here to kill Kennedy.
You're right. Because he had defected, after Oswald had this tortured childhood of 21 moves with his mother, who had her own problems. He was in New York. They took him in the school system and gave him mandatory psychiatric tests, and they concluded that he had the schizoid, dangerous personality disorder. Today, he would be marked as one of the kids in school that the teachers would be worried about. They'd have a jacket on him as a possible Columbine incident. They'd be worried about him for that type of incident. Back then, they ordered him for mandatory psychiatric care, and his mother just took him out of New York and went home and back to Texas. And he later went into the Marines thinking that would change his life. It was an unmitigated disaster. Some of his fellow Marines thought he was gay. They used to push him in the shower, call him Mrs. Oswald. And so he went over to the Soviet Union. He left the Marines, defected, thought he'd be a hero, and the Russians thought he was unstable. We now have those reports. And so when he came back to the U.S. a couple of years later with a Russian wife, you're right, Robin, people wondered, is he working for the Russians? Then people thought he was working for the FBI or the CIA. In the end, Oswald was too unstable to work for anybody, and that's why I study Oswald. The first third of my book's a biography of him. Forget the bullets, forget Dealey Plaza and everything else for a second. If you really want to know why Jack Kennedy died in November 22nd, 63, you've got to get into the head of that 23, just turned 24-year-old kid, Lee Harvey Oswald, and understand what put him in the window shooting at the president. Then you sort of get an understanding for why Kennedy was killed.
Wow. But there's no question, it's still fascinating to people. It's still fascinating to me. I'm still fascinated by it. The book is called Case Closed. The book came out 20 years ago. Now it's available as is it a Kindle or a Nook? Is it all of the above? Is it all the ebooks?
It's all of the above, believe it or not. It's on the Kindle, it's on Amazon, and it's on iBooks with Apple, and it's available as a Nook as well. And I've lugged around a 3.5-pound copy of the hardcover for years if I go to school, to the university or whatever else. And now I call it, Apple just put out the other day, I'm going to steal their marketing. They put out iPad Air because it's so light. I call it Case Closed Air. All of a sudden, I have it on my tablet. It doesn't weigh anything. I'm just amazed at that. It's fantastic.
That is funny.
And the powers that be from all of the major news agencies across the world, they really have high regard for you and your investigative skills and your truthful reporting.
Well, I will say that, thank you for saying that, Robin, but one of the things is, as a reporter, you always want to get, and you both will really understand this, being in the business of transmitting information as radio talk show host, you want to always have the biggest possible story you can. So as a reporter, I go out and I look at the Kennedy assassination. What would be my wish? If I had a wish, I'd like to come back like Woodard and Bernstein with the evidence, solid evidence of a conspiracy, to be able to say to you, you know what, Lee Harvey Oswald was really working for the Russians, the Cubans, whoever. Here's the evidence to convince Dan Rather and the Senate committee and the President of the United States that this is the truth. You'd be the biggest story rolled into one overnight. To come back with the answer that is Oswald alone, is one of those answers that you reach if you're convinced it's right, but isn't the answer that a publisher or anybody else is looking for, because they'd rather have the more sensational story.
That's true, and that's probably selling some inquirers as we speak. Well,
True, I think that's right.
There you go.
Gerald Posner, I love this conversation. Disappointed it's so brief, but thank you for being on the air with us. Do you have a website you want to tell us about besides the Amazons and all that? Do you have one?
I do. Thank you very much. I always forget to mention that it's www.posner, my last name, POSNER.com, and there you'll find out information on other books ranging from Nazi war criminals to the assassination of Martin Luther King to books on 9/11, believe it or not.
All right. Great interview. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to speak to you. Call us if you need the website repeated, or just go to WOCA.com, look at the guest list. You'll see Gerald's name at the 11:20 slot for today's date. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Thank you, Larry and Robin. Thank you very much for having me on. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Great interview. We'll be right back.
This is Wendy and Will of Dex Imaging. By now, you might be tired of hearing us talk about Dex. So instead of us telling you how much Dex can save you on your copier costs and how we can help your office be more efficient, we thought we'd let Judy tell you.
Hi, I'm Judy, the office manager of Graper Facial Institute here in Gainesville. We operate 8 medical offices, so I was looking for a document management system that would copy, scan, print, and share documents among all of our locations, but something that was within our budget. Dex Imaging recommended a Kyocera with their Index solution. It's been amazing. This machine does everything we need it to, including a direct scan into our current electronic medical record software. Dex even trained us on how to use it. Dex has been a tremendous help in making our practice and my job more efficient.
Thanks, Judy. And remember, call Dex Imaging today for a free workflow analysis to find out how you can save 20 to 30% on your copying and document management needs, just like Graper Facial Institute. Dex Imaging, 352-224-1816. That's 224-1816.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
All right, it's 11:33. Beautiful looking Friday. Got a big weekend ahead. One of the biggest things happening this weekend is already happening. It's the Ocala Pumpkin Run. Bigger, better, louder. This is horsepower in horse country. It's a 3-day car show and festival happening today, tomorrow, and Saturday. The address is 7700 Northwest Highway 27. The landmark is the old Castro Mansion. For those of you who know where the Castro family lived when that home was actually occupied, and right now the grounds of the home is occupied with lots of classic cars, lots of tents, lots of vendors, an opportunity for you to have a drag race without actually moving your car. It's kind of a simulated drag race in your own car, which is kind of cool.
Is Joe going to do that with his golf cart?
I don't know if Joe's going to do that with his golf cart, but we're going to get Joe on right now. He's out there. He's been out there all morning long, and at the end of this piece with Joe, we're going to give away another 2 tickets to the Pumpkin Run. This is a $24 prize we want to give away. Good morning, Joe. How's it going?
Good morning. I got a gentleman here from the golf cart company from Advantage Golf Carts, AGC. Now, he's going to call you on the other line, which is 622-9622. So if you pick up from him there, he should be calling you momentarily. Literally, I just drove up there because I was way at the other end of the facility here. And like I said, when you're at the other end, it is far away. So the other line should be calling in right now. If you hit dial, 622-9622.
And who is that? Who's calling in?
What's his name? What's your name? There you go. Jason, did you hear that?
Jason. Okay, so Jason will be calling you in just a little bit. And so let me answer.
And a little bit, heck, it should be ringing right now.
It is ringing.
Yeah, he's right there.
It is ringing right now. Jason, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
All right. And what is your role over there? What are you doing?
I'm the general manager for Damaged Golf Cars. And we've got three stores up in this area: Ocala, the Villages, and Wildwood. We have 7 in the state of Florida, and we're up here at the Punk and Run, showing off our cars and giving out candy.
Oh, okay. Are they electric? Are they gas powered, or do you have both?
I have electric, I have gas, I have diesel.
Oh,
We've got a little bit of everything out here.
Oh, really? Now,
I've
what's
never heard of
the most popular? What do you sell the most of?
In the Villages, it's about 50-50 split. In the Ocala market, it's more electric.
Oh, really? Joe, what are you driving right now?
I'm driving a gas-powered one. It's phenomenal. So I told you, even if you got gas, you can drive a golf cart.
So are you and Jason going to go head-to-head on that racing car truck? You're going to put your wheels of the golf carts up there and see how, who wins the race?
I can answer that one word, no.
I don't think anybody out here wants to see that.
On your golf carts, Jason, can you accommodate? Are they different sizes where you can accommodate like 2 to 6 people?
Yeah, pretty much everything that we brought out with us today is either a 2 or a 4 passenger, but they do make them all the way up to 8 passengers.
Oh, nice.
So now Joe is serving as a taxi cab driver. How's he doing? Is he getting lots of tips?
I don't know. I haven't seen any tips come my way anyway.
Tips? They told me where to go, but I haven't got any tips yet.
Does the terrain matter with a golf cart? Are you able to drive? You're on grass, right? There's no pavement where you are, right, Joe?
I've been over everything. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I don't know whether it was a golf cart. I've got a 2014 Easy Go, Freedom RX3. Hey, this thing's going over everything. So they've got the golf carts here. What do they call them, Jason? Those stubby wheels? What do you call them?
Oh, yeah, like knobby off-road wheels. You can do grass, pavement, dirt. Our tires that we put on most of the cars are 10 or 12 inches, and they're all DOT rated.
All right. And do you customize them? Like, once in a while, you'll see a golf cart that looks like a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce or a Monkey Mobile. Do you guys do that, too?
We don't do too much of that with the custom bodies, but we'll do custom paint jobs. We've got one out here that we did to look like a 61 Corvette, but it's actually got the factory body. It's all an illusion with paint and pinstriping and chrome.
Oh, well, that's kind of
cool.
Most
of our stuff is factory. We do custom paint.
Yeah, wait. Don't let him. No. I'm looking at this thing. It's got stereo. It's got the fancy horns. It's got lights hanging from the windshield. The windshield's got a 60 bar. No, the color's not. Yeah, it's fancy.
It's fancy. It's just we don't do the bodies that look like car makes.
What are the rules about the age of the drivers to drive golf carts? Do you have to have a license?
The state of Florida is 14, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I know we're not allowed to rent to anyone under 16.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can rent it.
I was at the end of the age thing. I'm sorry.
So I didn't.
Yeah, we don't have any control over that end of the spectrum.
I guess I didn't realize you could rent a golf cart. Now, in addition to golfing, when would I rent a golf cart?
Down in the Villages area and in Ocala. A lot of times they'll take it to the grocery store or they'll go out. In the Villages, there's over 90 miles of cart paths. So they use them like they're little cars.
I should do that. I should rent one just for the fun of it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Granny, go.
Some of the, like our Orlando store, they'll rent them out for trick-or-treating. It just depends on what you need to use them for.
Oh, really? And does your auto insurance kind of roll over to your golf cart, or you got to get a separate policy?
A separate policy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And has Joe needed you to cash in on any of your insurance?
I'm hoping he's carrying his own insurance.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Well, and you guys are going to be there all 3 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when
we'll be here all day today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
And when you park your golf cart, do you have to have it undercover like in a carport or a garage, or do they weather well outside?
They do weather well. They have all plastic tops, and then with the rain enclosures that we use, it's a Sunbrella grade material. Mm-hmm. It's the same stuff that you put on top of a boat cover or an outdoor awning. So it's got good wearability in the sun.
And how long does a battery last?
You can do about 19 to 20 miles an hour. You can do upwards of 30 to low 40 miles of range.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
All right,
That's fascinating.
Cool. All right, well, we'll call it back in about I don't know maybe I don't know when we're going to call back. But anyway, so go down to the Ocala Pumpkin Run. We've got 2 tickets right now for the first person who calls in to claim them, and you can go for free. The rest of us have to pay. This is a fun opportunity today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And make sure you wave down Joe Martone, get a ride in that golf cart.
Yeah.
Jason, thank you for Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys.
I'll talk to you around noonish.
All right,
Okay.
all right, we'll be right back.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Ugh, what wrong? Ugh, need wood for fire. Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire. Ugh, what takes so long? Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper. Ugh, my bad. You wash hands? Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
The following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This hurricane season, the most important thing you can do for your family and your business is to develop a hurricane preparedness plan. Florida's Division of Emergency Management's website, floridadisaster.org, now has a planning tool that will help you come up with your plan. All it takes is a few minutes to get a plan to better protect your family and your business when a hurricane threatens. Get a plan. Get yours at floridadisaster.org.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Yes, George. George, you're all wet.
I went to Devon Self-Storage and put back my fishing gear.
Okay. You know Devon Self-Storage is open early and you had all day to bring your fishing gear back. And they're right across from Hobby Lobby.
I know. I have my own code to get into Devon Self-Storage. And their phone number, too, is 873-0777.
So why did you wait till it started raining?
I didn't. I slipped getting the boat out of the water.
Boat?
Bye!
George?
Time again for the Silver Springs Lions Train Show, November 16th and 17th at the National Guard Armory, 900 Southwest 20th Street in Ocala. Times are 9 to 4 on Saturday, 10 to 3 on Sunday. $4 admission for adults, children 12 and under, free with a paying adult.